Okay, well, welcome everyone. You are here because you've been watching the seven-figure brand shift. And if you haven't, there's 4 videos before this one. Go back. I have the first one linked here for you when I get a chance to edit this live. So you are here because you're not underqualified. You're just simply unbranded. And I just got done with a Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough, this video audit that I do for my clients that really gives them a deeper understanding of where they are showing up and where they are not. And it made me realize that I needed to stop holding back on getting this video done for some reason. And now was the time to make that happen. So it doesn't matter how brilliant your work is. If your brand can't communicate that brilliance, you'll always be the best kept secret in rooms where you should be the headliner. So in this video, I'm pulling back the velvet rope to the Brand Extraordinary method. It's my method, and it is the exact process that will take you from being stuck in the Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough triangle and becoming booked out. And that's something that we all deserve to be. So most women that I work with, they don't have a marketing problem, which probably goes against everything you've ever heard in your entire life. But they don't have a marketing problem. What they have is a perception problem. And they're not communicating what it is that they offer in a way that starts to move the needle. So they've got the results, the receipts, and the referrals, but the brand, it still whispers capable and not a category of one. So that gap between how powerful you are and how polished you appear, that's where the opportunity leaks through the cracks. And that's where you are leaking dream dollars. So the Brand Extraordinary method was designed to seal those leaks with strategy, elegance, and precision. And we're going to go through that today and start to move you into the direction where you are packaged in a way that ensures that nobody else is duplicating what you do because it's yours, it's your authority. So it isn't about being louder. It's about becoming undeniable. Because your brand isn't supposed to beg for attention. Heaven help me, I'm so tired of seeing the begging on the internet. It's supposed to command it. And with calm authority and magnetic clarity that lets you really show up the way that you want to show up and know that it's going to get to the right people at the right time every time. So let me show you exactly how we make that happen. So inside this video, we are going to go over what I refer to as my Luxe Invite system, which also is the 3 stages of the Brand Extraordinary method. So know that I use the same exact system, this Luxe Invite system, to create the Brand Extraordinary method. And the Brand Extraordinary method goes a little something like this. We've got the Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. It is a video audit, and it is where I see the problem, I diagnose the problem. It has replaced free discovery calls. Can't stand them. I think they're silly. It's literally on my revenge list for 2025. So we replace that with a video audit that allows you to see what your clients see through the lens of another person's eyes and where we need to fix those things. But it's one thing to see a problem. It's a whole nother thing to hear a problem and build a strategy around it. And that's where we move into step 2. So step 2 is where we BrandStorm. It is where I interview you for 90 minutes to 2 hours, and we're uncovering every rock. Because what you might be communicating that I saw in the video audit might not be what you actually feel and what you actually want. And so we start to uncover what that looks like and where we need to take the brand from there. From that interview, you get a plan that lets you know what you need to start doing and stop doing in order to implement it. And then it moves into implementation with our Making Waves intensives. So Making Waves intensives is where I do rebrands in 2 to 3 business days. And if you've ever done branding before, most brand projects take 9 months to way too long because of all the back and forth. But the back and forth is eliminated, and you are really just starting with an amazing brand and able to sell immediately. And that's what we really need, friends, is not dragging out the dollars and throwing them all away, but immediate ability to sell and get our name and brand out there. Because once we have fixed our perception problem, all of that hard marketing that you've been doing starts to work almost instantaneously. So together, All of these 3 steps, they turn confusion into clarity and in clarity into conversion. And your message is now your most profitable asset. So let's break that down and let's see how extraordinary brands are built and put you into that category of one. So let's talk about the diagnostic or the video audit. And for me, the Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my iPad here for a second. Okay, you should see a beautiful picture of me and my baby. When he was a baby, he's not exactly a baby anymore, as he likes to artfully remind his mama. But we want to start first with a couple things. Before we move into each step, or let's actually talk about the steps real fast. First, we have step 1, and this is the video audit. It is not very expensive, but what it is doing, it is creating immediate trust. And it creates this immediate trust because you are showing your expertise. Now, when we get on discovery calls, we're just trying to discover who each person is and we feel like we're going to be sold to. And you don't really get anything deep or relevant a lot of times. It's kind of like, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. What's yours? Cool. What made you hop on this call today? Oh, you have this problem? That's great. Well, I've got about 10 minutes worth of information. Let me send you a proposal. And then, typically people will send this free proposal that's all about how great they are. And that sucks. Let's just keep it real. It's really dumb. Also on my betrayal list of 2025. Instead of doing a free discovery call that nobody wants to do, let's just put discovery call over here. Red for the things we should just stop doing. And maybe they'll let you send them a proposal that they'll ghost, most likely. Unless you're a damn good salesperson. So then instead of doing that, so we did our Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. Now we move into doing a BrandStorm. This is strategy. This costs a little bit more money because we're still building trust. And it fixes the problem. And it doesn't just fix the problem. I wouldn't even say it fixes the problem. Let's take that word back. What it does is it clarifies the real problem. Okay? It's really going to identify what is that real problem. So first here we have the Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough, if we're looking at it from a Brand Extraordinary moment. And then we go and we brainstorm together. And it's really important that we write these names down because what's happening here is we have names for every piece of it because this is your methodology. This is how your brain works. This is what they are investing in, is the ability to solve those problems. So traditionally, after we do a proposal, we do the project and it takes a lot of time, just a lot of time. A lot of the time. And that's silly. Nobody has time in today's society. Everything's moving too fast. We've got AI, we've got social media that's just burning through information on a regular basis. We don't have time to be left behind and we just don't need to do that anymore. So we move from video audit to strategy to then we move into implementation. What is not taking place over here that we really need to be made aware of is most proposals are about how great you are and not how great the client is. So it is a very pick me energy. That's what we're going to call it. It's very pick me energy. It's annoying. When that happens and we finally earn the project after, I don't know, countless amounts of back and forth calls. How many enjoys those? I don't have those. Countless amounts of back and forth calls. We finally get paid here. however much that is. And when we get paid here, we then have to start to establish strategy and all of those elements at this point, making it take longer. Woof. So when it's taking longer and it's taking up all of your time, you did all, and I mean all of this work for free to just start to work here. Ew. No more. So when we move into this Luxe Invite System and we do implementation, if you noticed, I got paid here, here, and here is where we're charging a premium. Because we're charging a premium not only to execute, we're also charging a premium for the fact that we can get time back, making this way, way more profitable than this free time that you gave up here. So I call this making waves intensives because we're able to make waves in the market way faster and establish ourselves as an authority. And that is what makes the Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough, the BrandStorm, the Making Waves pieces of the BrandExtraordinary framework such a powerful tool. Such a powerful tool. So let's just scroll up for a second and let's just talk about these individually. So we need a new color, everybody. Let's find a new color. No. Just kidding. It's not going to let me find a new color. Whatever. Purple it is. Okay, so let's talk about the Brandmuda real quick. And when we talk about the Brandmuda, I want you to see it from your lens and why this is so powerful and so important to what it is that you're doing. Okay? You're doing all the things right, but nothing is sticking because you can't see what your client sees. You're so stuck in it because it's yours. And that's a good thing. It means you're operating in your genius zone, but sometimes we have to pull out and we have to bring in an expert. And that's why that video is so powerful to what it is that you need. Because before you go and fix your marketing, you need to uncover what's actually broken. All right, I was literally just doing one tonight. That is what got me so motivated to talk about this. And the person was really unclear. They're like, I just need to know what's wrong with my messaging. It's just not sticking and I just don't get it. And like, I have no eyeballs. Well, it was because she was lacking emotion and she was lacking the ability to paint the picture. And that's not something you can really tell when you're stuck in it. And so this is where we can diagnose what is off from what others see. So we can start to prescribe what works. And when I record these personalized videos, they're personalized. I sent the person a message via Instagram voice note and was like, hey, I'm starting this for you. I'm really excited. I got everything that we needed. Then I sit down for about an hour and go through all of these pages, their web pages. I go through their social media. I show them where they might be leaking dream dollars because they're just not charging enough. That is so much more than anybody is getting on a discovery call. And it's important because we need to be able to show our expertise quicker, build trust faster. But we're not just building trust of like, please trust me so I can do business with you. No, there's trust coming from the other side because we need really strong clients who are going to also do their fair share of the work. It's a two-way trust. So it's not the most expensive thing that you offer. I charge $150 and I give more than $150 worth of value. If we have to assign value to this, because it's way more than the dollar amount. It is about getting people to the next step as fast as possible for them. So that's what's happening in this Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. And it's a video audit that it changes the game. It changes the game. So if it makes sense, I invite folks to the next step. Okay. And that next step, that's what's replacing proposals, those hideous, gross things that are like, pick me, and actually don't speak to the person's problem. And that is the BrandStorm. And so when we go to BrandStorm, like I said, it's strategy because you've got all the pieces. A lot of times when I'm interviewing people, I can hear immediately what it is. But you have so many big ideas floating through your head that they're coming at rapid speed all the time. And sometimes you just need somebody who can like catch what needs to be caught and let the other balls fall where they may, because they just don't need to be there anymore. So when you've got all the pieces, but no cohesive story that positions you as the obvious choice, it is time for a strategy that is going to start to tell you what you need to do and what you need to stop doing. And so that is the bridge between potential and profit. And we got to get you over that bridge. So we take this time, and that's where we're going to make that plan happen. You have everything inside you. I take everything that you give me and I sort through it, and I come back and we hop back on a call again and we go over that plan. That plan includes a variety of things, but it does include the findings and recommendations that are going to get you from point A to point B as fast as possible. And at the end of it, I share what it looks like if I am to implement it. What's great about this is you're paying for strategy, which always sounds so like high pie in the sky, but it's something that you should always start with first. And I am giving you parts of my brain and all the beautiful chaos that it is. I'm actually working on fine-tuning my messaging right now. And one of the things in the discovery that I do, because I do use really incredible AI tools that I have built myself, and I was checking my brand voice, the way I talk online versus how I talk when I am like really in it, coaching somebody or working with a friend. And I merged those two voices together because I felt like something was missing, and it was just the realness that is me. And what came back was hilarious, but it was also so true that my number one skill set is being able to take chaos, because I am natural chaos, and being able to distill it to the clarity and all the parts that make that chaos brilliant and putting that together. And so it's very telling to see where people's brains are going and how to get there, because finding patterns is what I do best. And that is what we do in the BrandStorm section of strategy. So it's 90 minutes and we uncover what's working, what's not, and then we start to craft your high converting brand foundation, because we cannot build a castle on the sand. A wave is going to take it out. So we need a really strong foundation to allow us to, hey, make waves, because that analogy didn't work out the way I needed it to. But when we go to make waves, that is where we implement, that is where we execute, that is where we get it done. Because we have now taken the time to see the problem from somebody else's eyes other than yours. We've now taken the time to hear the problem and align it with the goals that you want and where you really wanted to take this. And then we put it into action. And action is the thing so many people are missing. Oh my goodness, do I watch people drag their feet? I was talking to somebody earlier today, and one of the things they're saying, they're like, wow, you just take action so fast. And I was like, we don't have time not to. In the amount of time that I can make 500 mistakes and you're still thinking about taking the first step, who do you think's going to get further faster? So it's about making that. We've planned out what the steps are. We know what they are. We did it when we were brainstorming. So now when we go to make waves, we are putting that into practice and we are going after it in a huge way. So what we do is we move from the fact that now we have strategy, but strategy without execution is just really expensive clarity. And this is where magic becomes money. So in these 2 days intensives, we implement everything or whatever was needed from the strategy perspective, but it includes and is not limited to websites, messaging, visuals, systems, and just the launch of your new high-end presence. Because there's so much more to a website than just a website. We need automations. We need a marketing plan. We need to know where things touch and why they connect and how they connect, from both your perspective and your audience's perspective, so we can marry those two things in order to make money. And the result is that we have a message market match, premium positioning, and that dreamy visibility that feels effortless because it's aligned. It is truly your brand's glow up moment. Every piece is finally in harmony and it's ready to magnetize premium clients. because you finally sound like you, and we start to minimize that trust gap. Okay. And let's talk about that trust gap real quick, because we don't need that. Here's what happens on a lot of folks' websites. What I see is we have our handy dandy website here on this computer that looks like a projector. All right. So home, about, contact, picture, and some text. Okay. We have this, and it sounds very buttoned up, like you're stuck and we fix it. All the time. I swear that's what they all say. But we won't tell you how. It's cute. It's annoying. It's frustrating as hell. And then, we carry on, and we get on a call with them. So let's see here. Can I still draw a telephone like they looked back in the day? Oh, hey, I didn't want that. All right, this looks like Princess Leia, but remember when they used to have 9 buttons, y'all? Okay, so then we hop on a phone call with them, and we start just asking questions, which you should ask questions. It's a good thing. And we go, okay, I can make you a proposal. And like I said earlier, this proposal says pick me. Okay. And so, but what they got here, let's go back to here. What they got here was like fun, fabulous you. And they got dry, not so you. And we had to do a lot of work here because we haven't minimized the trust gap. And that trust gap still starting to close. It closes a little bit more after we got off the call with you. And then we hop on another call. I'm like so afraid to draw a phone at this point publicly. Oh, well, whatever. These old school phones that look like a diluted version of Blue's Clues. Okay, we hop on another call. And then they see the price. And now they might ghost you. Because now that we've seen the price, the trust gap widened. Because we didn't know, and we never saw proof. We were missing proof. Which led to a wider trust gap. So this up here is going to make it so you can close the trust gap, see trust going from both ways, that when you get to implementing, this isn't scary because you've already proved you are capable. Okay? You already proved that you were capable. So it's important that we take these things and we start to shift it. And if you're curious on how that works for you, if you are tired of chasing visibility and not knowing how to create resonance, you need to go through this process yourself and you need to implement it in your own business. And we do that by starting with that Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. So I want to invite you to book your Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. You can find the link in the description below. If you're watching this live, give me a little bit. It will be there soon. But this is how we start your journey from overlooked to iconic. It's the first step in going from unbranded to unforgettable and from hustle to high-end harmony. Once your brand catches up with your brilliance, everything else, clients, confidence, cash flow, it flows effortlessly. And it all starts by having eyes on it by the right person and starting to get your offer packaged in a way that's going to make you so much money because you are delivering that much impact. And I want to see you win. So go ahead, book that Brandmuda Brand Breakthrough. I can't wait to meet you, and you're going to have a amazing business because remember everybody, vanilla opinions, they don't pop bottles, and we've got to get rid of those as soon as possible by bringing out the brand extraordinary you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.